then it can have even dramatically more than that. If you think about if they sent out an email to staff,
right,
and it was had terribly stuff that you couldn't understand in there, or even sending stuff out to clients that they just didn't know how to get their point across. It could have a terrible consequences.
Well, you see companies go, I won't name any names today, but a major bank in the Southeast, I know their chairman is a fanatic about writing good prose,
right,
and communicating clearly. And he has almost outlawed his 30,000 bank employees from writing anything that's not in their standard book of letters you can write to someone.
Wow.
So it gets to a level of control that makes normal business almost impossible with folks who you're afraid to let go. And this 1.5 times annual wages in terms of cost is not the cost of running your business.
Right.
The cost of not selling another 300 ATVs because you sent out a bad memorandum to the people of Myrtle Beach area for this beautiful company here would be ruinous and far beyond what it would cost just to pay the person for 1.5 years and have to replace him.
Oh, yeah.
Or her.
And even more than that. Golly, Larry, that is incredible. When you think through, if a viewer has to head off to school right now, we've only got about 10 minutes, Larry. If a viewer had to head off to school or get off to work, do you all have a website or a phone number, even a website, a good website to focus on for viewers to learn more about the products?
We have a website with a long name. It's www.understandingcorporation.com.
Okay, www.understandingcorporation.com.
Right. And a couple of things for the folks who are rushing off. There's some things you can do with this individually if you don't have a company. Say, this doesn't apply to me. I'm not in a government. I'm not in a big organization. I'm just a person working out of the house, or I'm doing whatever. Everyone can use better communications, with your wife, with your husband, with a rack, whatever we're going to communicate with. Everything's a communication problem. The ugliest woman in the world, I say, is misunderstanding. Misunderstanding, I think, would be an award we wouldn't want to give to anyone. But misunderstanding is the enemy. You have a son, a daughter, a child, a granddaughter, grandson. You want to measure those people and see what level, how they're doing on reading and writing literacy. So you can do this individually. You can go to the website, buy a simple test for yourself. Now, those tests are tests that are honor tests. In other words, if you sit there and you get out the dictionary and you have your uncle come in and take the test for you, that's not a valid score.
Right.
We're building a national chain of centers where you can go get a certified test. And once you have a certified score, you can put that on your resume, and you can explain to people why you are better than other applicants they may have. Now, they probably haven't tested the other applicants, so they want to do that too. You might be interested to know, Greg, I saw yesterday that 41% of Americans plan to change jobs this year.
41% of Americans plan to change jobs this year. That's an incredible figure.
Yeah, it's an incredible figure, and it's a little bit higher than the last couple of years. So they keep statistics on this every year, and I just saw it in a memorandum yesterday. 41% of the people are going to try to change jobs. Now, everybody won't, because they won't get a new job. Mm-hmm. But if those who do get new jobs are going to be the ones we think that will market themselves better than others. And so getting a score, touting that score, improving your score if it's not good. You can practice in your own comfort of your home on the internet.
Right.
And then you can go to a national testing center and take a certified score. Once that score is certified, it's like an SAT score. You can call on it and use it. You couldn't just claim you're a 1385, and I might say just a minute, everything is graded in numbers like that. The end of the 7th grade is 700. The end of the 8th grade is 800. The end of high school is 1,200. The end of college is 1,600, and it goes on up from there. It goes up to 2,400. So people can be at whatever number they are. It doesn't mean you're a bad person if you're at that level. It just means you need to read things that you can understand at the level that you are. So you need to know where you are.
Oh, yeah. So you've been scored, Larry. We're not going to put you on the spot and ask you what it is, but you've been through that as well. And I'm sure all the folks.
It's a high score. It's easy. It's painless. My score is high, but as you get older, you get gray hair, you get higher scores. You read more things. You know more things. You know more words. Literacy is not IQ.
Right.
The smartest person in the world, maybe an aborigine in the back of Australia somewhere running around, and he's never seen a book, he's never learned one word. He scores 0 on the score. His reading and writing literacy is 0. His intelligence might be 283, right, or 183. So a person who has adequate IQ, horsepower, which doesn't change,
Right.
can become better and better and better at literacy and can be a better and better reader and writer, which makes him a better and better employee and person and more useful in life.
Golly, Larry, that is fascinating and fantastic.
Yeah. Critically important for everybody watching to get that child, that grandchild, to reading and writing and doing better and better in these areas. It's an interesting world, and it's one which, instead of giving someone a fish, you can teach them to fish. You know, the old story about that. Instead of giving somebody a fish, let's teach them to fish. And fishing is really just being better and reading and writing.
We just got about 5 minutes, Larry. I'm fascinated. The morning is flying away from us, and of course, I still have a lot more questions.
We've got to go ride on this ATV.
We've got to get back on the. I like the jet ski actually. The jet ski is pretty nice.
You're a beach guy.
That's right.
I'm a Chapel Hill
live at the
guy.
beach. You're in Chapel Hill, and of course, that's why it's so important that folks go online to understandingcorporation.com and check out the website. I'm sure a lot of this is broken down very simply. A number of the pieces I saw early this morning visiting your website are patent pending. Clearly, you all have filed all over, and you've got some tremendous allies, some great business you're associated with. Share with the viewers a couple of the folks that have been on board since the beginning.
I should say more about them. The reading assessments, of which there have been about 40 million done to date. You're probably wondering, is this going to be legitimate or is it not? The largest company in that business is a company called TASA, T-A-S-A, public company up in New York, and they do the reading assessments for a lot of K through 12 systems across the country. This technology has typically been used in grading textbooks for children in the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grades,
Right.
where you need to adjust the textbook to the understanding level of the child. So this has been done for years. We saw it first there and moved it to the private sector and over
Right.
to adult literacy. The other company that does the writing assessments is Measurement Incorporated, MI, which is in Research Triangle Park in North Carolina.
Great.
MI is the leader in the writing assessment business, and they've done millions of those as well. So those two big allies are the two big central horses in the deal. They provide under 6-year licenses the technologies to us. It all comes through when you see it on the website as our product, but it's provided by these two larger companies.
Very substantial companies that have been around a long time, which is
yeah.
tremendous. I saw early, and I wrote that down on your website, the byline, with understanding, everything is possible. With understanding, everything is possible. That's a pretty dang large claim, Larry. You know, when you think about it, how does that fit reality?
Well, it is reality. When things are misunderstood and not comprehended, a lot of bad things happen. And you see it everything from public policy, where our citizens don't understand a policy. They've sent people in perhaps to Washington or to their state legislatures doing the wrong thing,
Right.
but they don't have the ability themselves to figure out whether that's right or wrong. They don't read well. They don't maybe communicate well. So understanding things, whether it be the training manual at your job, something that just came in the mail from the government that you're supposed to do, something from the insurance company, some medical prescription, or the doctor telling you to do something in a procedure. All of these things are, if misunderstood, very, very, very dangerous. So we do believe that understanding is the most critical thing for things to go right and for things to go well for us and for our lives to be better. So we think societally the company is important. It's not just something to make a little money, have some fun. It's actually changing the way people think about reading and writing and how they understand better, and at whatever level they may be reading and writing, to be able to function better as humans.
It is not just important to a business, to a company, even to individuals. It truly is. It can have an impact on society.
We think it really will, and we think it will adjust parents and grandparents to understand themselves how important this feature of their lives has been. If they're at the far end of their life, like I am looking back, how would I have done in my life if I'd have been better at these things? And so my changes I can make now are to my grandchildren and to my children, impressing on them how important it is to do better in these areas, and then for everyone, just to be sure that your employer or anybody that's trying to direct you to do your job better is directing you at a level that you can understand it. If you don't understand it, hold your hand up and say, I don't understand this. It needs to be written at a level where I can understand it.
That's a tough thing oftentimes for folks to do, but it is
easy
to do
with our tool.
That's right. Larry, thanks so much for being with us
Greg,
this morning. Really enjoyed
let's
having
take
you
a
down.
ride.
And thanks so much again for your presenting sponsorship for the ICE Awards last week for the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce and the upcoming Heart Ball on February 17th. We truly appreciate it. The community does. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Larry Amick coming up next. It's a large claim, but you heard him say it. It's reality. With understanding, everything is possible. With understanding, everything is possible. You think about it, years ago when Larry Amick and Lou Brown were getting together to try to plan out something that would really help not only change companies, not only change businesses, but have a tremendous impact on society. Coming up with the idea of the Understanding Corporation. It's taken a long time. They've got a tremendous product, an amazing technology company. Visit them online at understandingcorporation.com. That's www.understandingcorporation.com and see how it can help impact your life.